Welcome to Toro NSN's Training in 10, an innovative, self-paced training module that allows you to get trained and get going. Today's topic deals with the Turf Guard system and changing the battery within a Turf Guard sensor. The items covered in this Training in 10 is the process of changing the battery in the sensor. When the battery of a Turf Guard sensor starts to run down, the data collected will become very intermittent. If you see this, call Toro NSN's phone support at 1-800-ASK-TORO. That's 1-800-676-8676. They will take you through a diagnostic process and, if warranted, send a replacement battery. This Training in 10 takes you through the change-out process. There are 4 items needed for this change-out. The first, a Phillips screwdriver. The second, a set of side cutting pliers, a pair of standard pliers, and a permanent marker. NSN will ship you a box via UPS to the mailing address of your facility. Within the box you will receive a set of instructions, 1 replacement battery, a gasket to reseal the Turf Guard sensor, and a set of water-resistant wire connectors for the sensor. Now you will need to remove the sensor from the field. Take care not to break the sensor. To help you with the process of changing the battery, take a little time and wash the sensor off of all soil, sand, and debris. Now carefully remove the screws from the Turf Guard sensor. Take care to set the screws aside because you'll need to replace them later. Be careful not to injure yourself on the probes of the sensor. Once you have removed the screws, remove the battery from the back of the sensor. Again, be very careful to not damage the sensor itself. Once you have opened the case, check the material that encases the probes. Make sure there is no cracks or breaks in it. Now carefully cut the wires as close to the battery as possible. Cut the red wire first. Once you have cut the red wire, now cut the green wire next. Finally, cut the black wire. Cutting the wires at the same time or out of sequence may cause damage to the sensor, so be careful. Now we're going to take the new battery and place the wires into the connectors. We are going to start with the black wire. You will not need to strip these wires to make the connection. The connector will do it for you. Now simply squeeze the connector to finish the splice. Now repeat the procedure for the green wire. Squeeze the connector to finish the splice. Be careful not to pinch any of the other wires. Finally, connect the red wires. Once you have finished squeezing the last splice, make sure that all the wires are firmly connected within each splice. Now that the splices are complete, you can slide them into a holder at one end of the battery case. Now place the gasket on the battery. Take care to place the gasket into the slots so not to pinch the gasket. Now replace the battery back onto the sensor. Once you've placed the battery back onto the sensor, check to make sure that the gasket is in its slots and the wires are not pinched. A suggestion in putting the screws would be to start at the bottom left of the sensor. Once you have snugged it on the bottom left, then place the screw in the top right. Now, top left. Then move to the bottom right, making sure not to over-tighten them. We would then move to the middle left of the sensor. Now we're going to finish off with the middle right. Once you have finished putting all 6 screws in, go back around and make sure that the screws are tight. Be cautious that you didn't pinch either the gasket or wires in this process. The last step of the battery installation is to copy the sensor node ID onto the back of the new battery. Now that we've completed the sensor node ID number to the back of the sensor, we have now completed the process of battery replacement. Now that we've finished the whole process, this sensor is ready to go back into the field. Make sure that you measure it off of a minimum of 2 sprinklers and document that location. Remember, you will need to mark this if you're going to aerify or do any other maintenance practice that might damage this sensor. Well, another 10 minutes has gone by and you have just completed another episode of NSN's Training in 10. Today's topic has been replacing your Turf Guard battery. We hope that this Training in 10 was helpful for you to better understand this helpful tool and that it further enhances your career working with your Turf Guard sensors. Be sure to keep looking for future installments of NSN's Training in 10, the self-paced training module that allows you to get trained and get going. And if you have any questions about this or about future training module releases, or if you'd like to participate in one of our acclaimed Toro NSN regional training classes, please contact us by calling 1-888-676-8676 option 2. Once again, that's 888-676-8676 option 2. Toro NSN Training also invites you to follow us on our Twitter site so that you can get the latest updates of where we are, what we're doing, and the new training opportunities for you to participate in. You can find us at twitter.com/@Toro NSN Training and send a request to follow us. Toro and Toro NSN's National Support Network. Count on it.